I'm Jez, an interior designer with Abode, and we've worked with Persimmon for a number of years now, creating their lovely show homes. We aim to create lovely warm spaces for people to sort of imagine their life in their new home. Every design starts with the same goal. We start with a neutral palette and then build up the layers of texture on top of that to create a really lovely inviting space. In this particular scheme, we've really kind of enhanced the trend-led ideas at the moment with the panelling, and then we've added in sort of the caramel tones, toffees, the ochres, and then we'll introduce the furniture finishes. So here we've got the washed woods. It gives it a really kind of soft, sophisticated and natural feel. When you open the front door, you want to kind of have some real impact. So making sure you kind of keep the space uncluttered. It's really important because that's kind of your first impression of the property. A key element to designing a living space is to have one focal point to the room and have that in your eye line when you first enter the space. Whether that be kind of feature wallpaper, panelling, an armchair. The use of plants in a space can really enhance it. If you've got a kind of a really lovely natural scheme, it can make it feel a lot softer and more inviting. Kitchen dining spaces are fast becoming one of the most utilised rooms in the home, and we tend to approach these spaces to try and sort of zone them off a little bit. You know, we create a family area with some sort of soft seating there, and then maybe having a focal point around the dining table with a kind of real feature pendant light, maybe, you know, sort of drop down to create some real drama. With principal bedrooms, it's really important to create a really serene, restful space, layering up your textiles with your throws and your scatter cushions. Remaining bedrooms can be utilised for a number of different purposes, whether that be guest bedrooms, work from home spaces, children's bedrooms, games rooms. And Persimmon provides some really generous built-in storage. And I suppose it's down to the individual how you customise that for your own individual use. And the bathrooms that Persimmon provide are really calm, clean and practical spaces. Don't be afraid to be bold and kind of make a statement. There are some really good sort of contrasting and textured tiles out there to kind of really enhance the bathroom spaces. When we're selecting flooring for a home, we have the design aspect, but we will also think about the practicality. So from your hallway, sort of the high traffic areas, we would select a really nice hard flooring in there and tend sort of typically to run that through from the hall into the kitchen and family areas. And for sort of the living spaces and the bedrooms, selecting a really kind of lovely carpet just makes it kind of feel really cosy. A huge benefit working with Persimmon is the broad range of finishes that they have for their kitchens, their tiles and their flooring. So you can really tie that into your own personal taste. Some key advice that we enjoy passing on is to try and coordinate all of your finishes together. So when selecting your kitchen, your carpet, your tiles, your hard flooring, is to make sure that you view that as an overall palette. That way you can be sure that it will all tie together. A huge benefit about purchasing a new build property is the fact that it's spotless from when you walk through the front door. You know, the walls are perfect, so when we come to put the panelling in, it goes in flawlessly. The wallpaper goes up, you know, without any lumps and bumps, and you get a really, really high-end finish. You don't have to waste time and money ripping up old carpets, skimming walls, buying a new boiler. You can spend your budget creating your perfect home. And it's fascinating to see how people approach that and how people kind of utilise the space and make it personal for them. At Abode, when we're designing Persimmon homes, it really feels like a story for us. And when we see people kind of walking around them and then starting their own journey, it really feels like we've done our job.